I'll say it many times over the course of this game, the fact that it has reliable rain on the second day, it's so nice. But we're going to actually spend most of today indoors. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Majora's Mask. Last episode, we completed the Fearful Spider House, as well as doing the second day of our 3 days of gaming. Today, we're doing entirely gaming this episode, pretty much. We've got 5 games to get through, and one other weird side quest. 6 things, should be relatively straightforward. We start off with the Town Archery Centre. If you think you can do it, why don't you give it a try, sonny? One game is 20 rupees. Alright, sonny, the rules are simple. Hit as many red ones as you can within the time limit. If you hit a blue one, you lose time, so watch out. You can use as many arrows as you'd like. Press B to shoot them. So, as he mentioned, high score is 39. Break the record and you'll get a prize. So, you're shooting Octoroks here. And, as he says, you want to hit the red ones and not the blue ones. They always come in the same pattern per game. It's like the Bombers thing. The pattern is randomized on each game. Like when you restart the game, like when you make a new file, the order which they come in is randomized, but for your file it will always be the same. We need to get 40 in order to win one prize. There's actually a second prize we need to win 50 for. This is a hard game. If you hit a blue one, you will lose a point. You need to get an absolutely perfect score, 50, for the kind of top marks. And you'll notice they don't move on to the next cycle, like when he blows the whistle, until you've defeated all of the red ones. So if you don't take out all the red ones as quickly as possible, you probably actually won't get to the end of the game. And in order to get the perfect 50 score, you also need to have got to the end of the game. It's hard. It's probably the hardest single minigame in the game. Because I've got 38 here. Like, I think here I'll do fine, but who knows whether I don't actually potentially don't want 50 on the first one. Because then I'll have to bloody do it again. Oh, I'm going to bloody get it on the first one, aren't I? Oh, there we go. That's how you do a perfect one. Was he going to give me the perfect reward, or is he going to give me the reward for if I got 40? Let's find out. If so, that's incredibly irritating that I did the perfect in one, because that was fantastic. I'm having so much luck with these minigames. So he gives me... He does. He gives me the quiver. Bugger. So that lets me carry 40 arrows. That's nice. Don't get me wrong. Having the quiver upgrade is nice. You get that for 40 plus. But I need to get the piece of heart I get for 50, and he's not going to give me that, is he? I've got to dang diggity do it again. Ugh. Why is this game like this? So I guess I'll talk through some of my tricks I used, which is... The important thing is going left and right like that wastes time. You want to always basically start with your bow at the left and scan over to the right while shooting, or vice versa. Basically start on the corner. You can obviously predict where they come, and that helps to a certain extent. The trick is just... There's no trick, just be fast and careful. I can't really say much more than that. Speed her on, please. So you can do that. I did alright, but I just hit some blue ones because I was just freaking out a little bit. Oh, it's so annoying that you have to literally, like, do it twice. Ugh. Oh, there we go. You have to be damn near perfect. As you can see, I did that there, and I managed it with, like, again, with, like, 2 seconds left. It's doable, but it's hard. Like, I've got decent because I played this game a lot, because I'm a very sad man. But there you go. Weirdly, it's actually updating our Bomber's Gallery as Bomber's Notebook as the animation starts of us receiving. It says your prize is the piece of heart. We haven't received it yet, but there we get the piece of heart. Very bizarre. Anyway, time for now a second shooting gallery. But I assure you, this second one is more enjoyable than that first one. So let's soar over to Woodfall. Well, I keep calling it Woodfall. Let's soar over to the Southern Swamp. Woodfall is where the temple is. So here on the kind of road to the swamp that we never really explored a huge deal, there is this additional bit up to the side here, which contains the swamp shooting gallery. You'll notice if you look on the bottom of the screen as well, we can now hold... Well, there's something else there. That's a swamp fishing hole. We ain't going to be fishing for a while, but... Yes, you'll notice we can now hold 40 arrows. We've got a quiver that's got an extra 10 arrow capacity. Here, well, we're going to be working for something else. We'll see what it is. This one is very different to the last one, and I think it's more forgiving. Shoot the targets from atop the platform. You gotta hit them all. That's all there is to it. Is he supposed to be a Scottish accent? I don't know. And this is slightly bizarre. Enemies come in waves, and what triggers the waves to start and stop isn't immediately obvious. But it's the Deku Scrubs. Focus on the Deku Scrubs on the ground. Whenever you shoot all of them, the next wave will start. These guys, for example, are just nonsense going on to distract you almost. What you really want to do is focus... Wolf Foss are nice because if you hit them they get 100 points, but really focus on the scrubs that are on the ground. Shoot that scrub up to the side, both of them if you've got any additional time. Same with the Wolf Foss, but really what you want to do is whenever there are any scrubs in the middle, focus on them. This is because when you kill a full wave of 5 scrubs, that advances to the next wave of scrubs. And you just, even though they actually make you the fewest points of any, see, they've gone into the ground there, and it's not ideal. They'll pop up again there. And then they're what you need to make the game move on. Why does it matter that the game moves on? There is a set number of waves. Clear all those waves before all the time elapses. You can actually get them when they're like that. And you will gain points for any amount of time you've got left on the clock. If you are careful with taking out all of the scrubs, you can take out all the enemies with an obscene amount of time left on the clock and get a ridiculous amount of bonus points because of it, which means you don't really need any skill. It's just about clearing it as quickly as possible. You can hear another Wolf Foss coming there, and I believe that's probably it. Yep, there we go. I actually got the amount of points I need exactly, which is 2120, but we've got 22 seconds remaining on the clock, and so... shit ton of extra points. That's pretty darn good, mate. Perfect. Here you go. Take this, mate. And he gives you a golden quiver, the largest quiver even, which lets us hold up to 50 arrows. As you can tell from the other shooting range, we do need to do it again. This time, though, we don't need to get that many more points. In the first batch there, we got 2,120. We just need 2,180. And basically, 2120 is the amount you get from hitting every target successfully. So that basically just means you need to hit every target successfully with a bit of time left on the clock. I think it's like 10 seconds should be enough to get you that amount. But this one you can very reliably do every single time, so it's not a problem at all. Speed her on. Oh, first time we did it with 22 seconds, now we did it with 32 seconds, which is quite a lot. So that gives us a final score of 2450, which is huge, which gets us also a weird piece of heart that loads in after the Bomber's Notebook telling us we got a piece of heart. Very bizarre. There we go. So now it's time to proceed on an unusual side quest. I'm going to keep my bunny hood on, but I'm going to put a couple of more things here. I'm going to put the Mask of Truth on there, and I'm going to put the Deku Mask on there. We're going to need all of these for this side quest. Technically, we don't need the Mask of Truth. You can figure out what to do here without the Mask of Truth if you know, but the Mask of Truth is the only way you would know what this quest is. So let's head back onto Termina Field, and we're looking for a hole. So it's in this... hold on, right up... it's this area here, I believe, that we will find the Hole of Interest. I believe it... oh, no, that's a Deku Baba. It's actually in here. So you got a Skulltula first. Let's just deal with him. Move out of the way, please, matey. Thank you. Oh, no, you're not done yet. Thank you. Ah, go. I'm having a good time here. Go on. There we go. And you've got these 4... what are they called? Gossip Stones. If you press A on them, it just says, "It's like my heart has been peered into. That's a disturbing eye." But you'll notice it matches a Mask of Truth. Speak to them with a Mask of Truth on, and they'll say, "The mystical stone responds to the mask and speaks to you, but its words are heard in secret. It seems all the strange stones are arranged in a row wish to be the same colour." And if you talk to the other ones, they'll tell you exactly what they kind of mean by that. Like, one will say, the strange stone changes when the Guitar of Waves is played. One says, when the Pipes of Awakening are played. And the final one said, oh, well, if you hit him, it just tells you what time it is. How long until the end of the final day. Didn't mean to do that. And the final one says, when the Drums of Sleep are played. A lot of that doesn't necessarily make sense. The one that does make sense is the Pipes of Awakening. We can do that. If we play the Sonata of Awakening... yeah, there we go. It spins around and it turns green. There's a song associated with each of the 4 areas. Obviously, the only one we've got at the moment is Woodfall, and this is Secret Gossip. And so the only song we can play at the moment is Woodfall's song, which is the Sonata of Awakening. There's 4 of these holes throughout Termina Field. You have to go into each one and play the Sonata of Awakening. So I will put Super Duper Speeder on here to show you kind of where they all are and me briefly playing the Sonata of Awakening in each one. Crucial thing as well is that the song you play has to be played with the correct instrument for that area, so the Sonata of Awakening has to be played through the Deku pipes. So, with them all switched to the same colour, for whatever reason, we get a piece of heart. As the game goes on, I will explain which other songs can be used for that same quest, but you can do this as early on as you want. The crucial thing is you perhaps might not know how to do it in case you did the Mask of Truth, but you don't need to have got the Mask of Truth in order to actually do that side quest. It's just, I didn't want to do something that we're not supposed to technically know how to do beforehand. Anyway, now we have actually finished up with everything I wanted to do on the second day, so let's head to the dawn of the final day and head back to the Deku Playground for our final day of gaming. So, whilst I feel that Honey and Darling's playground gets easy, quests, things, games become easier every day of the cycle, I feel that the Deku Playground actually gets a little harder, because here, in the first day they were moving around up and down, second day they were moving around in circles. This day you got a little bit of both. The concept is the same as the second day though. Let the platforms do the work for you and just move between them and kind of make sure that the platform comes to you and whatnot. Generally speaking, pretty straightforward. You'll notice obviously you can hear the rumblies of it being the final day, and I just can't remember now. I've never before shown the music and clock down on the final day. We've only been here in the final night during the kind of tutorial-y section. I really like it. So the music and clock down is different every day. It's the same general theme, but with a twist added to it. We got one more bit to get, which is just this one over here, and that should be it. Bam! Whoop! Cocks! God, how embarrassing. I've actually never had problems with this one before, and yet I have run out of money now, so best go and withdraw some and try again. There we go. That took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit, actually. Strange, normally I've never struggled with that one, but there we go. And I've had every other minigame actually pretty easy so far, so you are obviously a pro, and pros can't play here. Take this and don't come back. So they give you a piece of heart for your efforts, and also have you removed from the premises forever, well, at least for the rest of this cycle. But that concludes that, so it's frustrating because you have to do it every day, so it has to be done over one cycle. Such a youthful face, but we really were dealing with a fierce competitor. Ah, it's the Doctor, hide! So yeah, they won't let you play anymore, which is quite amusing. But, yeah, often people do devote like an entire cycle to it. Whereas I like to try and do it in a cycle amongst other things, but that can be quite difficult to manage time-wise. You just got to keep a tight grip on it, as is ever the case. Anyway, I'm going to head over to Honey and Darlings for the final go of that. Listen to the music. So this is the quite manic version of the clock town music that you get on the final day. It's much faster, and it's got a slightly minor key to it, and it's got creepy sounds in the background because, well, if we look up, you'll see, unsurprisingly, things are looking a bit creepy on the final day. Oh, that is a good picture, actually. I will keep that. Anyway, let's do the final Honey and Darling, which is actually the easiest one. Probably take this off. Don't want to be running around like an idiot. It looks like we have a visitor, Honey. Oh, I wonder if it's a customer, darling. Oh, you're the one who got a perfect score 2 days in a row. Do you want to play again? Today is target shooting day, isn't it, darling? So, hit all the targets in the time. It takes us to dance through one song, but if you fall off the platform, you're out. So this is actually really easy. So you draw the bow with B, and you just shoot the targets, and that's it. I would say stay in one position, shoot the targets, and take advantage of this. If you shoot Honey and Darling, that hurts. But while that's up, the timer is frozen. Far easier than moving around the place is just stay in the same position and take every shot, and then when you can't take shots because Honey and Darling are on the way, take advantage of that to stop the clock for a bit. That technically works in any of them. If you hit them with a bomb or a bombshell or whatever, they will stop the clock. It's just I don't like moving in the other challenges so much as this one. But there we go, perfect. That one's easy, especially if you've done the other two archery ranges I've done today. This one will give you no trouble, I'm sure. Honey, he got a perfect score 3 days in a row. This is all we have left to give him, Honey. So they give me a piece of heart as well. Wonderful, and that's 3 days of gaming concluded. One of the slightly weirdly complicated ones, just because you have to plan your time for it, really. Anyway, we got really one thing left to do, perhaps two, depending on whether you count the final thing or not. I wonder, are we truly happy, darling? Well, you're all gonna die by sunset anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's pretty fucked up, actually. And that's really the overarching feel of Majora's Mask there. Great. Final thing we want to do is soar to Milk Road. So, of course, here now it's the final day. The boulder opening the way to Romani Ranch has been cleared. So I kind of wanted to do this since we were around and about on the final day anyway. Now there is a place. We could have accessed this place before. No reason why we couldn't, except for the fact that to get the goal that I want from here is very difficult without the Mask of Truth. So, last time we came here, I do like the light early in the morning, where it's got this slight green feel to it. Oh dear. You get a really good view of the moon from from Romani Ranch. It's quite creepy. But anyway, if we come over, there's the Cuckoo Shack there, and there's this thing here, which is the Doggy Racetrack. Yes, that's the kind of game this is. So if we enter in, there is this woman here. What do you want on a day like this? This is Mamamoo Yan's doggy track. Didn't you know that? Do you want to try and bet on a dog race? The minimum bet is 10 rupees. Will you still try? Then go ahead and fetch the doggy you think will run the fastest and bring it here. So, trick to this is to use the Mask of Truth to read the thoughts of the dogs. That way you can then tell whether you think they're going to do well or not. Advice. First off, there's the golden dog. If the golden dog says certain things, he's never going to lose. Pick him up and read his thing. Oh yeah, I feel unstoppable. I don't think I'll lose. Excellent, we'll take him. So there's three sentiments you got to look out for here. There's no way I lose, I'll feel unstoppable, and my forepaws feel lighter than air. If a dog says any one of those, it has a pretty good chance of winning. Not guaranteed, but pretty likely. The golden one, if it starts with anything that starts with the word rough, like if I pick him up, he says, rough, I feel unstoppable, I don't think I'll lose. If the golden boy says anything starting with rough, he is guaranteed to come first or second. And that's handy. If we talk to the woman with our chosen dog, oh no, come back here, doggo. Oh, I tried to bring me the thing, but I threw him over there because I'm an idiot, okay? There we go. Nope, there we go. You, woman, let's race. There we go. If the doggy takes me first place, you get triple your bet. Second place, you get double. And if it goes third through fifth, you'll get your money back. Otherwise, you lose whatever you bet. So, I'm going to bet 80 quid. What you need to do here, let the race commence, by the way. You have nothing to do with the race, it just goes. All that changes with the dogs is the speed coefficient. They can still bump each other out the way, and a dog that looks like it's going to win could still do badly. It's just less likely. If you bet 80 quid, what you need to do in order to kind of get the heart piece here is win 150 quid or more in a bet. If you get the golden dog with the right phrase, then he's guaranteed to come second or first. Which means you'll either double or triple your money, which means you're guaranteed to get the heart piece. If you bet 80 quid or more on the golden dog with the right statement. Usually, I've been lied to. Turns out that's not true. Fuck. There's not really much I can say about that. I have been firmly told over the years that if you get a positive statement from the golden dog, a rough statement, he will always come either first, win or second, which means if you place 80 quid, you're guaranteed rough. I feel like I could win, but I feel like I could lose. Not ideal. What about you? I feel like I can win, that's not great. Too old for this, definitely not great. Blue dog almost always does badly. Feel unstoppable, but it's the blue dog. Don't take the blue dog. He is almost guaranteed to lose. Forepaws feel lighter than usual. There we go. Let's try this again. But usually, yeah, if you bet 80 quid, you're unlikely to do that badly. Because you'll at least get your money back, whereas if you come second or first, you'll win. 80 quid seems to be a handy amount to go. Anyway, speed her on, let's have a second dog race. But yes, here you're seeing what I said. Like, what the dog says to you determines its speed coefficient, literally how fast it's moving. Does not stop other dogs just fucking getting in the way and biffing it up that way. But this one looks like he's at least going to come third, which means I get my money back. This can be a bit of a time-consuming one, but hey, I got all the time in the world here. I've got until the end of today, then the world ends. So, you know, let's see what I can do. Again, let's check Golden Boy, because he has a higher offset than the other ones generally. I can't predict the future, so I don't know how I'll do. That's not great. Who whine, my belly hurts. That's definitely not a good sign. Forepaws feel lighter than usual. You'll do. Come on, you beautiful bastard. Just hold the lead. This is what matters. Like, the speed coefficient gets you into the front, and then if you stay in the front, you're fine. It's just getting shoved out of the way by the other dogs can fuck you over no matter what the speed coefficient is, but they're won by a massive amount. So I bet 80 quid, so I actually get 3 times that back, so I don't even have the wallet space for that, because that would be 240. 240? Yeah, 240. But the point is, it's more than 150, so that gets me a piece of heart, which is wonderful. Win big at the doggy race. That's exactly what we did. And that's us done. I don't want to play again, no, and that's us done with the episode. I'm going to show some stuff off, and I'm going to talk about some stuff. It's not relevant to anything that goes on. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the music of this game that I like and put it on in the background, and I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, what happens if you don't play the Song of Time by the end of the 3rd day. Because something absolutely does happen. Good one. Something absolutely does happen. I mean, you know exactly what it is that happens. The moon falls and the world ends. But that's a thing you can see. So I'm going to deposit my money, and I'm going to make a save so I can come back to this point, because I don't want to have the end of the world having happened on me. And so, as I said earlier, you get a nice view of the moon from the ranch. So I'm actually going to go and watch the world end from there, and I will see you out there. And here we are, a lovely hill to watch the end of the world from. Obviously, to speed things along a little bit, I am going to play the Song of... hold on. Inverted Song of Time to send the flow of time back to normal again, and then I'll probably just leave it and let the speeder run on to while we watch the moonfall. That's going to take a terribly long time, isn't it? I'll fast forward a little bit, not a huge amount though. So, night of the final day, 12 hours remain. Let's set the camera pointing at the moon and watch it descend. And so I'm going to put some music on in the background. I've mentioned this track, The Oath to Order, as being my favourite in this game, and perhaps my favourite in any game ever. What you're hearing at the moment is a orchestration of it by a fellow. If the feel of this game is something you like, if you like the music and stuff like that, I strongly urge you to listen to his music. He's called Rosen, and he has a fantastic suite called Children of Termina, which I feel musically captures the feel of this game fantastically well, and I would strongly recommend listening to that if the music of this game means anywhere near as much to you as it is to me. The Oath to Order is a very powerful piece of music for me. It captures this game perfectly. As the game goes on, we'll really work out what it means and what's going on with that piece. But for me, it encapsulates the whole everything that's going on with the world of Termina. It's sad, but it's powerful, and it's got a slight hopefulness to it. It's got this feeling that things might not be going well, but maybe next time things can be different, and it ties in perfectly with how the feel of Majora's Mask flows. And this arrangement of it by Rosen is appropriately called Termina's Demise. So I will let it play and let the world end. And so, the angry moon fell from the sky, annihilating this world and its many inhabitants. All items and such gained these last 3 days are lost. If you would like to restart your adventure from the last time you saved, press the home button to return. Thank you very much, and a good day.